Welcome back to On Point. James, 2 races this week. One of them somewhat a home game finally for us. Spiral Stakes just up the road at Turfway. And not a home game, the Sunland Derby, far, far away and far up as well, up in the mountains of New Mexico on Sunday. 50 points on the line for the winner. I would think whoever wins is going to go on to the Derby. So before we get into the field, just generally speaking, you see any names in here you think could make a mark on Churchill Downs in 6 weeks?
Well, Firing Line, definitely. I mean, his races against Dortmund were outstanding. So he's obviously, if he runs an impressive race in Sunland Derby, he'll get some action on Derby Day.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people watching him. Dortmund seems to be this binary type horse. Some people love him. I know you have him on top. I have him number 2, but I mean, I'm still waiting. He's 5 for 5. He's done nothing wrong in his career, but I'm still waiting to be sold that, he might end up being my Derby horse, maybe not. Obviously, Firing Line going to give us somewhat of a gauge on that. And we'll continue with the Sunland Derby, though. Can anyone pull the upset on the classy Firing Line?
I don't think so. The one issue that's come about with him is he's undergone that shockwave therapy treatment since the Robert Lewis. So I wouldn't be surprised if some people tried to beat him, worried about his physical condition. But I'll have another underwent shockwave therapy back in 2012 before he won the Derby. So I'm not too concerned about it.
They're staying in training. Usually that's the thing I look for. You don't want to miss in time at the track. There are the 2 local, they've run somewhat locally. Y2 shipped to Turf Paradise, won their Derby. He ships even further east now for the Sunland. And then the local Mind That Bird Derby winner is in there. They looked a little interesting to me with Firing Line taking what I think will be most of the money, and Lord Nelson.
Yeah.
They'd probably be my alternatives.
Lord Nelson's 3 for 3 at 1 turn. He's winless in 3 or 4 starts at 2 turns, but the Sunland Derby, I mean, Chateau won that race last year, so that race can, he might be able to run a little bit better going 2 turns on Sunday.
And like we talked about last week with American Pharoah at Oaklawn, Sunland seems to be one of those tracks Bob knows how to ship into. So maybe that's what gets Lord Nelson 2 turns. We'll find out on Sunday. About 24 hours after we find out what the spiral means in the Derby picture. Very balanced field, I think, for 11, assuming Imperial does come out. Royal Sun, the morning line favorite off the local prep win. Mike Battaglia told me he wanted to make Metaboss the favorite. His son overruled him. I actually do think Metaboss is going to end up being the favorite, though.
I do, too, and I think Metaboss would be a safe play, for a showdown pick. He's definitely got a great chance to be in the top 3, but I'm going to try to beat him for the win in that race. I've landed on Dubai Sky. He's making his first start non-turf, but he's bred for the main track. He's a full brother to Twirling Candy, a Greatest Stakes winner on turf, dirt, and synthetic. So expecting him to take a step forward. He's got good tactical speed. Think he can save some ground from his outside post.
And for me, I'll go all the way to the inside. I wish you weren't the morning line favorite because I do think this is a well-balanced field. And you hate to pick chalk, but I'm hoping Metaboss goes off as the favorite, and we end up getting maybe a little bit of value on Royal Sun. I just can't ignore the best last out speed rating at the track. Not quite at the distance, but he's by Tiz now. Triple digits, at 7-2 or 4-1. I'm willing to take a flyer.
Tremendous pedigree. That was a big race, like you said. He got a 103 brisk speed rating, which sort of towers. But that race fell apart a little bit when the Great War stopped, leaving the far turn.
Sure.
I wonder who was facing in there. I'm counting on him catching a little more pressure as well.
All right, well, next time we talk, the 50-point races will be in the books. We'll be looking forward to the 100-point action, Louisiana, Florida, and UAE Derbies. That's what's on tap next week. Enjoy the races this weekend, and we'll talk to you then.